I have desired to go where springs not fail, to fields where fly no sharp and sided hail, and a few lilies blow. And I have asked to be where no storms come, where the green swell is in the havens dumb, and out of the swing of the sea. This is a poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins, which he wrote for a friend of his who was to become a nun. But I want to take a quick look at those who went another step by becoming anchorites for men or anchoresses in the case of women. I wonder if you've ever wanted to be one. The question seems almost absurd today, doesn't it? Because there are hardly the facilities to do such a thing, even if you wanted to. I'm going to talk about anchoresses, really, because there are so many more of them. An anchoress was a woman who decided for a period, and usually for the rest of her life, to stay in a small cell attached to a church where she would devote all her time to a program of prayer and study, together with suitable tasks such as writing and sewing vestments. The cell she lived in would be about 12 feet square, about the same size as a smallish cabin on a cruise liner. It would have a window facing the high altar of the church so that she could see the host at Mass, and another window through which she would receive food and so on, and where she would receive guests asking for her guidance. There would be a window high up on an outside wall, covered with a white cloth, to provide light. The door would have been bricked up after she entered. Sometimes there was even a second room, or a private garden. The anchoress would have had a servant to look after her from outside the cell, and she could only undertake the life if she had made suitable financial arrangements. She would also have had regular visits from her confessor, who would also be her director. Now, although anchoresses were cut off from society in many ways, they were living at the centre of the church, which was at the centre of the community, so that in some ways it was a prominent position for a woman in its heyday. These women were respected, and they had found a way in a limiting society in which they could have the kind of life they felt called to. Now we have to make the same plans, if not so elaborate, but ways in which we can find the freedom in our lives to pursue our own spiritual lives. And now some words from an anchoress whose words have come down to us, Julian of Norwich. Deeds are done which appear so evil to us, and people suffer such terrible evils that it does not seem as though any good will ever come of them. And we consider this, sorrowing and grieving over it, so that we cannot find peace in the blessed contemplation of God as we should do. And this is why our reasoning powers are so blind now, so humble and so simple, that we cannot know the high, marvelous wisdom, the might and goodness of the Holy Trinity. And this is what he means when he says, "You shall see for yourself that all manner of things shall be well." As if he said, pay attention to this now, faithfully and confidently, and at the end of time, you will truly see it in the fullness of joy.